Hello, and here we are with a quick lightning news flash. We got a vinyl confessions tonight, and we'll be talking about some things I picked up. Also got an unboxing going on tonight. Then I'm not going to make this too long because I got a show to do tomorrow, and there's just so much to do. So let's take this off the screen real quick here. Hello, and happy Tuesday. Yeah, it's another Tuesday. I like doing these Tuesdays. I don't mind doing these short things in the middle either. But let's get moving, shall we? We got things to talk about. So vinyl confessions. This is where we talk about things that we have on vinyl, things that I've gotten on vinyl. Today we're going to be talking about those things I got on vinyl. And a little bit of a warning, just so anybody else doesn't fall into the same trap I did. Because a lot of times, we're doing our shopping for vinyl, right? So we want to just pick things up. We find things we like. We find things we don't even know about, right? That's what happened to me the other day. And then we look at it later and go, well, crap. I should have looked at that a little closer before I bought it. It's in the plastic. You think, it's in there and they've looked it over. It's going to be in good shape, right? They're selling it. But that's not always the case. So just be careful. I'm not telling you that anybody's trying to rip you off, but but there are moments where you're like, okay, I should have just looked at this because maybe I wouldn't have bought it if I had looked at it closer, right? So let's take a look. The other day, I'm gonna look at this real quick. Something I meant to show earlier on when it was around Halloween time. These are some album covers that I always thought were a little chilling. And there's others, we all know about others that are chilling, but that was always a classic. My friend Bob actually played this for me. AC/DC. If you want blood, you got it. The chilling cover. So that's, and then here's one that I was just discussing with a student the other day. This album is a great record. I love it. However, at the same time, it's not really, it doesn't have anything to do with the album itself. I still remember shopping for it in Pekin, Illinois. I went to the Pekin Mall. There was JR's Music Shop. Now there was two major outlets in the malls and in shopping centers. One was JR's Music and the other one was Musicland. That's what it was up there. Now there was like Apple Tree Records as well, which had a couple of different locations and things like that. But this was in JR's Music. I got to know the crew there. I got to know them really well because of the fact that that I liked their prices better. On the reg, their vinyl was at least $1, maybe $2 cheaper regularly. And then they had, I do believe they had cutout bins. So things that I bought at JR's Music were, I can still remember, one of them was Billy Joel, 52nd Street. Another one was this album right here, Abominog by Uriah Heep. Great album cover. I mean, look at that. That is beastly. Yikes. But had nothing to do with the album. It was just a pop rock record with John Sinclair on it on keyboards right there in the middle, who would end up being in Ozzy's band there for a little while. And I was just talking about him because, well, and Bob Daisley and Lee Kerslake were in this version of Uriah Heep, and they also played and wrote for Ozzy. And there's a lot of all the talk you've heard about that lately. So anyway, Uriah Heep, crazy album cover that had nothing to do with the record. And of course, this is a wonderful piece. This War of the Worlds, a wonderful album by Jeff Wayne. Picked this up used in the Chicago area at a place that's in a gentleman's garage. He has a record sale in his garage. I think it's called the Record Sale. And real cool dude, real nice guy, an artist. And one last chilling album cover that I always wanted to talk about was this one, Malice, License to Kill. Look at that. Yeah, that face. Look at that face. There you go. Great record, though. A lot of fun. This band ended up, was in the movie Vice Versa with Judge Reinhold and Fred Savage, right? I believe that's correct. And they went to go see that concert. They saw Malice in concert in the movie. So yeah. Then went down to, so I guess I kind of have an unofficial sponsor tonight, maybe Frenchtown Records too, right? Found this. This was in my Mava list, the mysterious alien vinyl abduction case. This was one of them. And I found it. It was expensive. It was not that price, I'll tell you that much. But at the time, they were having a good sale, 20% off of used vinyl. So it's wonderful to have that one again. It's a fantastic record. I also had Marching Out. I don't know where it went. So hopefully I will be able to find that one again and have it. This is one that I thought I'd purchased a copy for myself. But I guess I hadn't. I grew up on this. It was not my record. It was my brother's record. So 10-1, he still has it, but I thought I ended up with it. I don't know. But I bought a copy for my brother years ago. And this one is really, this cover is in really good shape. I didn't even remember that when I was looking at it. I'm just now looking at it again and going, wow, this cover's in really good shape. It's not worn. There's no ring. There's no real ring, but it is Nazareth playing the game. If you have never heard this record, it is not one of their most popular records. But I'll tell you what, it's great. Start to finish. Fantastic record. It has Somebody to Roll, which is a song I'd like to do in my band. Down Home Girl. I could play like almost every song on this record in my band. It would fit. Somebody to Roll, Down Home Girl, Flying, Waiting for the Man, which is really a cool song for bass players. It's got a great bass line, funky bass line going through the whole thing. And this album was produced by Manny Carlton. So then let's see, Born to Love. So good. I Want to Do Everything for You. I Don't Want to Go On Without You. Wow. It's a love story on the second side. Wild Honey and LA Girls. Such a great record. Again, playing the game. Not one of the most popular albums, but a well-respected album. It's not always easy to find like some of the other ones. Now, here's one that I had on 8-track, and I couldn't believe I found it, and it was great to get it 20% off. It was only $10 with 20% off, so $8. So is the Raiders, Indian Reservation. Grew up with this on 8-track, as I said, and Indian Reservation's right there, first song on the album. And I love every one of these songs. Birds of a Feather, Just Remember You're My Sunshine, Prince of Peace, Eve of Destruction, Come In, You'll Get Pneumonia. That's a great song. Shape of Things to Come, Take Me Home, Heaven Help Us All, and one of the craziest songs I've ever grown up listening to is like Put the Bone In by Terry Jacks, is a song called The Turkey. So a good, it's a good yearly song for every November. And then I thought I'd show you this. This is another one. Just remember, this album is out KK's Priest. They are doing some tour dates, mainly over in the UK right now. Sinner Rides Again. It's a really, really good follow-up, a strong follow-up to that first album with Ripper Owens on vocals. So good. Priest is going to be back on tour for their new album. And Invincible Shield, I think, is the name of that album. So anyway, I've got a couple of things that I'm not going to show tonight right now because they are something special. They're gifts that I found, but I will show you the rest. This is from an antique mall buy that I did the other day. It was strange. We were out doing an errand, and we came back through, and I saw the antique. I go, I've never been in there, so I decided to pop in there real quick while I had a little time this past weekend, and learned about a new band. This is one that I want to tell you guys. This is where there's 2 albums, and one of them may be back there. I still got to grab one of them. This was here. I'll just show you this one real quick. This is one that I got the other day by The Records. This was also at Frenchtown Records, downtown St. Louis. Really good album. Really great power pop time. That kind of stuff is really, really good. But yeah, this one, great album cover, great band. The first 2 albums were produced by Tom Allom. If you know who if that rings a bell in your head, Tom Allom took over on production after Roger. I think Roger Glover was the last one to produce before Tom Allom took over. And because Roger Glover produced Sin After Sin, Roger Glover being the bass player for Deep Purple. And he produced that record with Simon Phillips on drums. And then they put out the next album would be The Killing Machine, is what it was called, based on the song The Killing Machine on the album in the UK. But then here it would be released as Hellbent for Leather. I didn't skip on it when I found it in Florida. I didn't do that on CD. Unfortunately, I did skip on it when I was at Apple Tree Records in Bloomington Normal, Illinois, and I held off and skipped getting a copy of vinyl called The Killing Machine. They had a copy, and I skipped on it because I already had it as Hellbent for Leather. And I was young, didn't have a ton of money, and I'm like, I already own it. I better not get it. So I didn't. So little regret, we all have that. So, hey, there he is. Who produced Smell the Glove? Thank you, Mike. That's something I don't even know off the top of my head who produced the Spinal Tap album. But anyway, let's get back to this. I did find this record. I was unaware of these guys. The name was somewhat familiar, which is why I went ahead and picked it up. Southern rock band called Doc Holliday. Really good stuff. Very Skynyrd. They are big Skynyrd fans, like so much so that it is there are songs on this album that sound just like Skynyrd. And they ended up covering Simple Man. And they do call out their love of Skynyrd in one of their songs on another record. But this album and Doc Holliday Rides Again were both produced. I don't know if I can show you this. I don't know if it'll read well. Yeah, it looks like it might. It might, if I can get it angled just right. Produced by Tom Allom. So Tom Allom, like I said, took over and produced Hellbent for Leather, The Killing Machine, and then everything all the way through the 80s. And I'll be doing a show about this. Then in 1990, they hired Chris Sangarides, which the only other band at that time that I knew that he had produced was Tigers of Pantang. So was it called Rage in the Cage? I think he produced that record. But anyway, Doc Holliday, though, there's the band. So check them out. They're on Spotify. They're on Apple Music. Check them out. This album kicks ass. The second album is good. The majority of this stuff, if you like Southern rock, jump in. Might even especially if you're from France, the French, the Germans. Germans love Hasselhoff, right? Germans love Hasselhoff. French love Southern rock. So much so, I'll show you that someday. I'll dig that up. I got a magazine that a friend of mine here in town was on the cover, and they interviewed him for a French magazine. So I cannot read it. No, I will have to wait. So Casey, what's up? Thanks for joining me, guys. It's good to have you here. That is my buddy Mike, who was just on the show last week. So then I got a copy of Scandal. I found this. Just couldn't pass it up. I've been a big fan of Goodbye to You ever since it came out. And Patti Smythe is just a great singer. And the energy was amazing. And I wonder, I'm gonna use this and see if I can figure out. I want to see who produced this. Okay. This is really interesting, guys. I didn't know anything else about this record, right? The producer, and Mike can answer this for me. What is up? And man, everybody's popping in. My buddy Lance is here. What is up? Of course, there's Casey, evening, and Mike. And look at that. There's Jeff. What's up, my buddy Jeff? I'll see you tomorrow, man. Coneheads come from France. They do. They do. Everybody's here. This is great. Lance always gives us some great information. I was going to actually go through my phone, but I'll go through that and share some of that later on another thing. I got to get off of here so I can get back on in a little bit with my buddy Jeff. So anyway, Vinny Poncia. Who else? Mike, you got to know who produced. He produced somebody else. Wow. Let me make sure I'm saying that right, because I know. Yep, Vinny Poncia. Poncia, I suppose. I think that's how they pronounce it. In all the interviews with that band, what band did Vinny Poncia do some production? Come on. This should be easy for Mike. All right. Now, I saw this and I couldn't pass it up just because I love the cover, right? I fell in love. No. You had to step away for a minute? Okay, so Vinny Poncia produced who, Mike? To step away to feed the dog. Good choice. That's a good choice. Yes, produced Kiss. That's right. There you go. And I won't even get on you about the spelling. Oh, Raging Bull was released on this date in 1980. 9 to 5 was released as well. Same date. Well, they're so much alike. So I had to get this. Every time I see it, if the price is right, I will get it. And there we go. Ross and Collins Band debut album. What a great cover. And this actually goes along with Tomorrow. So it's there you go. There's the band. We just lost him, right? Just lost Gary Rossington. I just about bumped into him at a concert when I was backstage, walking through. Now, you know what? Here's one. I haven't even looked at it to see what it's like on the inside, because I'll show you that. Oh, it looks good. Looks nice. Looks good. But, and I didn't even show you, did I? I talked about it and I didn't show you. So look at this. So when I'm looking at this Doc Holliday album, I see that it's got this silver lettering on it, right? 2/16/81, because I guess that's when they got it. I don't know. It's got their name. It's got the date up there on the wing. I mean, could you write on this thing anymore? It wasn't too expensive, so I picked it up. But see, look at this. It says it's out of the order, because this is a promo album. See this? That's what my Missing Bon Jovi album had on it too. So they say out of sequence. were 3 songs on the record, is what they're saying on this version. But then look at this. So I'm like, okay, well, whatever. It's on A&M Records. But then look at this. Okay, so here's, side 2. Is that side 2? Yeah, side 2. And then look what they did to side 1. What the frick is that all about? So I didn't look at it. So I bought it, brought it home, and anyway. So just be careful. Make sure that you're looking at what you're buying when you're buying these used albums. This one cost me $5. I almost would have just paid $5 anyway, just for the cover to have it. It's really cool cover. It's very indicative of, what does it remind you of? It's got to remind you of Dr. Feelgood, right? That's what it reminded me of. Such good artwork. I thought it was so cool. That's another one I bought as a gift. I'm going to hold off on that too. But then you saw this. I showed this on the show with Mike, of course. Europe. This was in my Mava list, so it's nice to have this one back. I have their other album that came out before that as well. So there you go. I'll get into this in just a minute. Remember, I was talking about Scott Michaud is going to be here on the show tomorrow with Dino and Gaetano. Gaetano, I got a hold of Gaetano a while back because I was hoping to have him on the show sometimes. Good friend of mine. And look at this. A&M Records was located in the old Charlie Chaplin Studios location. HBO had a great documentary on it. Oh, really? I'll have to watch that because it was here in St. Louis where Styx, I think I've mentioned this before, signed their deal to A&M Records when they still had John Karualewski in the band before Tommy Shaw joined. And they signed that contract for A&M down at Kiel Auditorium here in St. Louis. Thank you for mentioning that, Lance. I met Kevin Elson backstage. Oh, really? At the Europe show in LA. Oh, man. Why didn't you call me? Oh, along with Jeff Scott Soto. I wrote him a note the other day. I would love to have him on the show. Speaking of that first Yngwie record, right? The first 2. So anyway, when I was looking into Scott Michaud, I went to his Facebook page, right? And there was a picture of this album, Ominous Guitars. And I'm like, well, wait, I own that. And then, so I go, and I've shown this before, I think, on the show, but all the same, there it is. Tonic System is the first song on the record. Craig Erikson, what a great guitar player. If you've never listened to Craig Erikson, really, really good stuff, and a really cool dude. Nice and laid back, real cool dude. Met up with him a couple times through SLM when I worked at SLM. So anyway, let me tell you just a skosh, because I'm going to try to figure out how I want to do this tomorrow. I don't really want to get into all of their backgrounds when some of it's right here, right? So Scott Michaud started guitar at the age of 5. His first live appearance was at the age of 8. He got a gig at the age of 13 for a benefit show with Pat Travers. At 18, he got an endorsement with Fender. He was featured in Mike Varney's Spotlight column in August 1990 issue, and the number of other magazines features soon followed. In 92, his two-handed arpeggio techniques landed him a place on the Shrapnel Ominous Guitarists from the Unknown release. He was later featured on the it's Mike Varney's Guitar on the Edge series. This culminated in the release of the CD Omnidirectional on Legato Records. All right. Guitars used, it says here, is a Viola SP24 flat top. Now, our other guest, they're all working together. Gaetano sent me a message and said, check this project out. This is what my latest thing that I'm working on with these two guys. So Dino Fiorenza. Dino is an Italian rock bass virtuoso, session player and educator who has performed with Steve Vai, Paul Gilbert / Zach Wilde, Yngwie Malmsteen, and many others. He has just released his debut solo CD. Back at that time, he had released it. Tap on it, I think is what it tap on it. I think it. Listened to it last night. Oh my God, it's crazy, amazing. I already know what my lightning round is going to be with these guys. It's going to be fun. So Dino studied classical music from a young age, and at 18, he began to play electric bass in local bands. His unique style, combining 8-finger tapping and funk slap, earned him the role of lead bassist in Maurizio Soleri's band. Ooh, how about that? I didn't do too bad. With whom he toured for 1 year as a session bassist. Dino worked with many bands, including Alzheimer, Nowhere, Disaster Area, and Lisa's Revenge with Ted Nugent guitarist Lee Wilkerson. He also began teaching bass at the Lizard College of Music in Italy. I guess that's right. So my buddy Gaetano Nicolosi, I met up with him in 2004. We can talk more about that tomorrow. I don't want this to last too long. So Gaetano is a professional drummer, performer, recording artist, author, and instructor. This native of Ramaca, Sicily, has quickly ascended to the top level of his craft. His musical career began at the early age of 7. Throughout his teenage years, his passion for music, and more specifically drums, found him continuously playing in both marching bands and rock groups. He spent 6 months in 1999 to 2000 performing in Sicily with veteran vocalist Ron Keel, playing for the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, as well as Italian audiences, which led to the formation of their band Iron Horse. So that's how I met Gaetano. Was when I met up with Ron Keel in 2004 at the NAMM show in Nashville. He came into our booth. I'll talk more about that another time. But the whole band then came. Jay Rusnick was there, and Gaetano, and yes, my buddy, my bass brother, was there too. So this is embarrassing now. It's really, really horrible what I'm doing at this moment. So anyway, just having one of those late night brain things. So anyway, that's where I met up with Gaetano. So then we kept in touch. I did some logo artwork for Ron and the guys for Iron Horse, and then subsequently did some other things for them as well. Then I passed on some work to some logo stuff to Gaetano for his book when he did an instructional book, and I have that. I'll show that to you at some point, and everything. So yeah, so it's really, really cool. So those are the 3 guys that are going to show up tomorrow. Hope all of your stuff is going well for the holidays. I hope you're getting everything together. I promised you an unboxing. Oh my goodness. So let's see what we got here. Okay, so here's the question. I'm going to get back to my screen. Here we go. All right, it's up to you guys. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which door do we open? 1, 2, 3, or 4? And I got to check out what's happening here. Mr. M, story of Ann. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. 2-part documentary. Herb Alpert, yep, and Jerry Moss. Thank you for that reminder too. Little Shop of Horrors and Platoon were released 6 years later after those other films. Woo! All right. So has anybody got a number for me? Come on, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Somebody give me a number. I want this to go well, and then I'm going to get out of here, and then I will see you guys in a little bit. 1, 2. If you guys don't give me one, I'll just pick one. How about this one? You all said 2? Okay, good. Good. Thanks for saying 2. Thanks, Mike. See, you did say 2. It was in there. Lance said 4. You want me to switch it out? Should I go with 4? Since you both actually did say that, I'll do that. I'll make this fun. It's for the people, right? Feed the people. Do they know it's Christmas? Anybody listen to that lately? Start thinking about Christmas movies, because that's what me and my buddy Marty are going to be talking about soon tonight. It's going to be a late night edition. So I had a long day today, and it wasn't horrible, but it was a long day. All right, what do we have? I don't know. These things have been here for so long, I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. Jeez, really? Oh, I own it. And I got a lithograph when it came out. But now I have it on Blu-ray, because why? Because it's worth it, right? Heavy Metal on Blu-ray. What a wonderful film. And she's so cute. She's so cute. It is I talked about this at Halloween, and what really scares me is that I think I might have 2 copies of this on Blu-ray now. What's up with that? I don't know how I did that. Yes, absolutely. Christmas music, Die Hard and Lethal Weapon. I was just talking about Lethal Weapon. What rocker's father was in Lethal Weapon? Oh, and they do have something in common. Bruce Willis was the voice of the cab driver in this. And we're also talking about Die Hard. How about that? So what rocker had a father who was in Lethal Weapon? I have hairs coming off. I can't wait to find out if I have another copy of this on Blu-ray. That's going to be so weird. Something else that I got, folks, if you're looking for something cool, I'm trying to get ready to expand. That's why I'm doing this Christmas movie thing, because we're going to be expanding the scope here of who we're talking to and what we're talking about, because movies and games and comics are huge in my life. So I'll be showing these again tomorrow night on Go Game Go, because they're worth it. Look at these. Ordered those. NES coasters. Killer. It's really cool. I had to get them. So those, and then look, they had record coasters. It comes on a little stand that looks like a turntable, and then they have little records. So you can get different kinds of labels, but I'm just gonna make my own labels and stick them on there. That's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna do point of no return. That's got to be one of them. And look, so you open the box, and there you go. That's what they are. So I'm eager to do this. I'm gonna print my own labels of rock and roll labels and put them on there. You have to pick if you're gonna be picky about it, you got to get the right ones, because not all of them have picturesque labels like that one. Like Styx, they had Kilroy was here, that had artwork on the label. Also, I just mentioned it, Point of No Return. And what are some other one? Yeah, there you go. We could do the Go Game Go and hammer away record labels. I should do that. I should put my logo on there. That'd be cool. I might have to look at that. I have to think about it. I don't know, but I can tell you the Honeymoon Suite did the soundtrack song. They did. What was the name of that ballad? It was a ballad that they had. Love. Wasn't Love Changes Everything. That was just another song, right? I can't remember the name of that song. because the Big Prize came out at that same time, and it didn't have the ballad, wasn't on the record, I don't believe. Big Prize, great record. The last thing I will say tonight before I get going, because I'll be back here in about 20 minutes, but I almost should have just tied the two shows together. But now that I'm thinking about it, I got to invite him to the other one. So, nothing like talking out loud, right? What was I going to say? Let's talk about, yeah, if you haven't heard Honeymoon Suites, The Big Prize, it's a great record. Although here's a funny story. I hadn't played that album for a lot of people. I just listened to it, and I've always said, if you want to know what my, if you want to know, oh, what does it take? That was it. Okay. It take. What does it take? All right, I guess that's it. It seemed like it. That was the ballad. Okay. All right. Seemed like there was something else. Anyway, but my friend, I played the album for my friend. I go, man, this album is really, really good. And it's produced by Bruce Fairbairn. It's great. I played their hit on the radio. That was Feel It Again was their hit at the time. And it is that. And are you familiar, Mike? Are you familiar? Take My Hand. Yeah, that was the other that ends the record. Take My Hand, I think, ends the record. But I played it for him and he goes, oh wow, that really sounds like Bon Jovi. I'm like, oh shit, it does. I'm like, okay, well, I really like it. Ian Anderson makes he steps in on a song that's called All Along. All along she knew about the two of us, breaking all the rules. All along she knew that all I needed was you. So really, really good song. Ian Anderson playing flute, because flute is a hard rock instrument. Also remember, I love this sticker. I just thought I'd show it to you. This is one of the Midnight Devil stickers. I love their artwork. It's so cool. It's cute, but it's sexy. I don't know. It's neat. I got to figure out where he gets these glossy, kind of plasticky stickers. We need to get some of those made. All right, guys. I will step out of here. Thank you for. See, look, that's just not going to work on my. That just doesn't work for me. I'm going to have to do something different there. But yeah, see, this little arm moves, and then you can pull the records off. What is that, like an accordion or something? There's a lot of them on here. Feels like there's, I don't know, like 6 or so records on here. It's pretty cool. Pretty neat. So, yeah. Well, there's a cool one. Got a drummer on there. So yeah, I got these on Amazon. They have different styles, so you can get different styles of music. There's one that looks like it's a swing bandy kind of thing. Swing bandy? I don't know if that's a thing. I'm not sure. There you go. There's your saxophone player. I don't know why I had to use my crappy British accent to do that. Just a saxophone player. Well, I mean, not just a saxophone player. All right. There you go. Pretty neat. So, and then these days, you can just go get all your own labels printed out and put them on there. All right, folks. I will let you roll. I will stay minty fresh. Every one of you out there, stay minty fresh. It is the holidays. Dude, Bon Jovi sounds like them. Fairbairn produced them first. Is that true? Is that true? Now I have to check the records. Because I think they were like right on track with each other, right? Because the first Bon Jovi album, I think, was 84, right? 84. And then it was, and that's when the first Honeymoon Suite came out too. With not with that. With why can't I say with the first girl? Yeah. Why can't I say what it was? New Girl Now. I've played it a million times. So Bon Jovi was 86. All right, for Slippery When Wet. But Bruce Fairbairn produced 7,800 Degrees Fahrenheit. I forgot about that one. He produced that album because that was the one that I just got. It was on my MAVA list. I got to get out of here. But I will be right back. There it is. Okay, so the big prize was 85. Yeah, 85, yes. And then their stuff became hits in 86 when I was working on the radio. Yeah, I got to get back to that too. So there'll be more coming. Sorry, I've been kind of just doing my regular shows, and that's pretty much about it. But things have been a little busy. It's the holidays, whatever. I can use a million excuses, and they're all a bunch of crap. So, all right, guys, you all have a good one. We will see you back here just shortly, and then I'll see you back here again. If anybody has to get out and go and do what you got to do and won't be back for this next one in a few minutes, that's okay. I'll be back tomorrow for our regular 4:00 show with Scott Michaud and Gaetano and Dino. It's a whole O thing tomorrow. Michaud, Gaetano, and Dino. So, all right. Thanks, Lance. You guys take care. Remember, as always, oh, what is this? It's not on his production list in Wikipedia. I don't know what to say. Oh, you're right. Lance Quinn. I lied. Well, there you go. Now I really do have to go because now I've lied to you, and that sucks. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate your help. That's awesome. I don't mind being proven wrong. That's just fine by me. I'll leave you with this thought, and if you want, if you're coming back, you can answer it because we talked about it yesterday and today at school. What a member of ELO toured with what classic heavy metal band in the 80s, did not record with them, but played on the tour in the 80s with what classic? So Bev Bevan is the drummer for ELO. For whom did he tour? What classic metal band? There you go. That all just came out so terribly wrong. Lance Quinn, thanks again, man. Lance Quinn. It's in my head. I just see Bruce Fairbairn. I can just see that, but that's not it. You're right. Lance Quinn. All right. I'm shutting up now, guys. Have a great rest of the evening. If you see me back here shortly, then I will look forward to it. And we will see you then. Take it easy and be good.